Hello and welcome back to another Walking Dead video, and today I want to talk about some disturbing news, and that is that Danai Gurira and Scott Gimple have been entertaining the idea of making a Walking Dead musical, and this, in my opinion, is a terrible idea. The Walking Dead is not something that needs to be made into a musical, and she does make comments how it's nothing they're taking seriously, but it's something that the two people are talking about. And she does mention how Gimple has said they do not have the rights to a Walking Dead stage play, and they couldn't do a musical, so they'd have to talk to Kirkman about it to get maybe some rights off him, because they only have the rights for TV adaptation of The Walking Dead. And it seems like something Danai Gurira is pushing a little, because she has mentioned this more than once now, that she wants to do something with a musical in the Walking Dead universe, and this is a terrible idea. I feel like she's gone a bit over, and she's like, oh, I wrote an episode and I directed The Ones Who Live, now I can make a musical. And it seems a really dumb idea. And what makes me worry is that it's probably, they're saying that they're not taking it seriously, and, you know, they're like, it might not ever happen, but they're talking about it. We heard this all before with a comedy, and it didn't happen as Gimple wanted originally. He wanted a whole comedy spin-off. Instead, we got Gina and Blair in Tales of the Walking Dead episode 2, and that was a comedy episode. So it seems like this is entirely possible if we're not going to get a Walking Dead musical, which is a really dumb idea, and I think it's something they should never do. Walking Dead shouldn't become a play or a musical. If they can't get the rights from Robert Kirkman, I don't put it past Scott Gimple and Danai Gurira to be like, okay, we can't make a musical, but how about we make a musical episode for a show? And that seems like that could happen, because they're now talking about it. If they're joking around it and they go down this like, oh, Kirkman says no, they could be like, okay, we have the show coming out, more Tales of the Walking Dead universe, which is basically Tales of the Walking Dead but rebranded. They could just be like, let's write a musical episode. And what gets me worried is that that's entirely possible, because we had a comedic episode in The Walking Dead's universe already. Now we now have Blair and Gina. We now have that terrible episode, Gina and Blair, whatever it's called. And that all started because Gimple talked about a comedy series years before. So are we going to get another cycle of a terrible one-off episode that is going to damage the entire Walking Dead franchise as a whole, just because Danai Gurira and Gimple the yes man are like, screw it, let's do something different with the franchise? When we mean different, we do not mean put a bloody musical into a horror drama franchise. And this is something that's weird, because we have heard a musical episode premise been told before. Back with Fear the Walking Dead, before they filmed season 6, there were some rumours that somehow in the back half of Fear there'd be a musical-like episode. That never happened, but it seems like an idea that's been floating around AMC for a while, and now you have Danai Gurira, who has just come off making The Ones Who Live, now being like, I want to do a musical, and Gimple's being like, well, you're a big star, if you're going to be in it, we might as well give it to you. And it seems like a really dumb idea. I'm really worried about it. I don't think it's ever going to happen as a play and a musical, but I do definitely think that an episode in one of the random shows, we know there's probably more shows coming out, like more Tales of the Walking Dead universe, which you've heard nothing about, because they quietly cancelled Tales of the Walking Dead. They made a new show, which is basically Tales of the Walking Dead. They confirmed it's happening, and then we've heard nothing else for about almost a year. And maybe this is going to be one of the episodes if this doesn't pan out the way Danai Gurira wants. It's really concerning that they're now trying to do some really random things, and it seems like Danai Gurira has maybe lost touch with what the Walking Dead universe is, and she's now trying to use the Walking Dead universe to like further her career, to be like, okay, I've now directed and written an episode, I want to do this, let's ruin the Walking Dead universe to go do this. But please tell me down below, what do you think? Are you worried that this musical could happen, or do you think it's just something that they're just messing around with? Or are you like me, thinking that the musical won't happen, but in the future we will end up getting a musical episode at some point, because we've had this before with a comedy series with Gimple? So please tell me down below your thoughts. But this is it for me today, so goodbye, peace out, and I'll talk to you later.